Welcome to the American Legion Post 31 postseason as Munger Ridge are bringing this Legion playoff action from Castleton State College. Day number 2, Rutland with that 12-4 win over Colchester yesterday, taking on Brattleboro, Post 5. Two teams very familiar with each other, and both coming in this ballgame undefeated. Brendan Riley, Soren Peltz Walsh, and Kyle Whitworth will be the first batters due up. Kyle Horvath getting the start. Ed Lewicki was the winner yesterday, and he is, again, he's available to play third base and the pinch hit. And Horvath will get the strike call. 9 innings. Mercy really got to go 6.5. You got to have a 10-run lead or more, and the team trailing has to have 7 full at bats. And there's that pitch by Horvath. Looked like a changeup as it dropped right off the table. Kyle Horvath has been extremely effective this year and very efficient for Rutland. And again, a lot of lefties, I think, on that roster that can pitch. I'll set the defense for you. Obviously, I'll start with the catcher and Mr. Nate Swan behind the plate. He got him again. It would look like the changeup or the breaking ball. So the first batter faced by Horvath, and he'll become a strikeout. So Riley will go down on strikes. Now Soren Peltz Walsh. First base today is, of course, Aaron Bloomer. Dan Favreau's at second. T.J. Oliver, the shortstop. Sam Major over at third. The outfield has in right field in left field Jeff Bloomer, Mike Triller's in center field, and Alex Miskowski, the right fielder. All strong arms out there, and all good speed as far as covering the gaps. So Horvath, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the first, Brattleboro, post 5. We'll look at strike 1 right there. So they have it as a 2-1 count, 1 down. Post 31 coming in as the #1 seed from the south. Overall, Essex coming in as the top seed. Essex yesterday in the game, I came over and watched them playing Bells Falls. They won that game 16-11. So you say, yeah, the bats are alive and well in Essex, but the pitching and defense was a little suspect, and that'll be a walk to batter number 2, and that's going to be Walsh heading down to first base. Now Wentworth up. So Whitworth, the catcher. Horvath, in case you haven't watched him pitch this year, one of his strongest assets is his pickoff move to first base. He's had one game where he picked off 3 runners in 3 different innings. So that's his move to first, and the runner will be back safe. Close play, but he'll be back safe. And you can see the crowd behind home base. Most of the people are up on the embankments on both sides of first and third base. A little more shade. That's going to come out to Triller. He's going to go back on the ball, and it's going to be over his head as the ball carried on him, and at least going to third base, and they're going to wave him around and try to score. The throw will go to third base, and he's going to be safe. So the run will come in. And going to third base with an RBI is Whitworth. As Brattleboro able to get one over that's 400 feet to center field. That was about 380, but it's very hard to get the ball over Mike Triller as he covers a lot of ground out there. And right there, the ball just hit on a line shot. It was out over the plate, and now Troy Scott up, the second baseman. And so Brattleboro, who lost to Rutland during the regular season, down in Brattleboro, or no, up here in Rutland, up in Rutland, will draw first blood. And there is that off-speed pitch, and again, looks like it could be a changeup or the breaking ball, but I'm a long way from home plate. From behind, it's hard to tell from the center field angle. Went fastball, and you could see that Swan holding it there, framing it, but couldn't get the call, so I'll go for a ball. 1 out, runner at third, 1 run in. Top of the first, double elimination. Rutland trying to stay in that winner's bracket. And that shot going to be coming in. Bloomer will dive for the ball. It's going to get by him. There's no backup. Another run is going to come in. And there at second base with a double, an RBI double. As Brattleboro able to get 2 runs here in, as Whitworth will score from third base easily. Scott will have the RBI double. And now Isaac Earl, who'll be the pitcher today for Brattleboro. He'll get up and swing the bat. As right now Brattleboro having very good success finding the ball in the strike zone from Horvath. Long way to go, though. A 9-inning ball game. Lots can happen. 2-0 Brattleboro, and Post 31 with just that 1 loss this season came to Bellows Falls on Rutland's home field, St. Peter's Field, and it was a come-from-behind win for Bellows Falls. So it has been a long, long time since Post 31 has had to rally from a deficit, even though, like I said, we're only in the first inning. But they put together quite a winning streak from that loss on. And that'll miss high. As Earl with a good eye will let the pitch go by him high and outside. In PEGTV.com, click video on demand, and that's how you can watch local sports action anywhere in the world, free of any charge. And that'll be followed back as, again, he was out ahead of the pitch. It's Horvath working deep into the order now, as they are at the number 5 spot, only the one out. Again, he went with the soft stuff and will miss high. As I'm just trying to flip my book around. I'll tell you that Scott's staying in at second base. Again, opting to go with a lot of soft stuff here. He's got a lively fastball, but he's, so far, to 5 batters, percentage-wise, he's thrown an awful lot of breaking balls. Well, he'll have a walk there, and that'll be runners at first and second now. Because that's the second walk of this inning. Now, Devin Rhodes, who was the winning pitcher yesterday for Brattleboro, and Coach Palomo, going to waste no time to come on out and talk to his starting pitcher, Kyle Horvath. It was real brief. It took longer for Coach Palomo to walk out than it did for him to deliver his message. There's a fastball in the inside corner. So start off Rhodes with the fastball. Again, Brattleboro able to get 2 runs in here. And at some point in this tournament every year, there is that upset special or that dark horse, and you can obviously win it from the loser's bracket. It's just a lot more work, and you spend a lot more pitching arms. But Rutland right now in a good position, I thought, coming in today to go into tomorrow, day 3, with that undefeated record. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Like I said yesterday, Bellows Falls losing to number 1 Essex, 16-11. So just the fact that, yeah, Bellows Falls gave up 16 runs. Everybody expects that when Essex comes to town. But the fact that Essex gave up 11 runs, now will be a good stop by Swan, and runners will stay at first and second. And so Horvath laboring here in the first inning. I said yesterday, Ed Lewicki got the start. I believe the pitch count was 133 pitches, which is a lot for high school, or this level, Legion ball. Actually, it's a lot in the major leagues nowadays. You hardly see anybody throw that many, but again, Lewicki had been very effective all season and was very effective yesterday. 12-4 win over Colchester, or the Cannons, as they're called. That's going to be the second. There's one. Oliver to first, and he'll be safe as Post 31 not playing like Post 31. On what looked to be a sure double play, it'll just become the second out. Scott will go to third base. Earl was forced out, 6-4. And Rhodes will reach on the fielder's choice. Unofficially, of course. Now Jamie Martell, the right fielder, up. Again, the sun playing peekaboo behind the clouds. Right now, much more comfortable with behind the clouds is Horvath. Looking to get out of this inning and keep it just at a 2-run deficit for Brattleboro. They pushed it all the way into the number 7 batter. And they've been able to plate 2 runs. Horvath right there on the outside corner. Swan with the catch and the strike called. I thought Favreau fielding the ball, and then his toss was a little high and soft to shortstop Oliver, but the throw to first looked to be doable, but it was just off the end of the glove of Bloomer. First and third for Brattleboro, and they've shown no indication yet they're going to send the runner on the steal from first to second. Again, Horvath going deep into the counts here in this first inning. Deep into the order, deep into the counts. He's walked 2 already. I think Rutland's focused now. And sometimes it's hard coming in, as that's the 3rd walk of this inning. So Rhodes will go to second. Going to first on the walk was Martell, and now Harrison, the number 8 batter, up. Tell you, Brattleboro couldn't have thought or scripted a better top half of the first against the number 1 seeded Rutland Post 31 squad. And Horvath right there on the corner for a strike. So as the base is juiced right now, Brattleboro wants to go from a good inning with a timely hit here to a big inning. And that's going to allow the run to score as here he comes in, and yeah, and that is the unofficially the second error on Rutland this inning, and that's very uncharacteristic of Rutland. So Rhodes will go to third. Martell stayed at first, yeah. And Harrison still at the plate, and I can hear Coach Belomo from the dugout, don't make it hard on yourselves, and I think he's absolutely right. They're playing tight, they're playing reckless. Now Swan, to his credit, through the regular season has thrown runners out at every base. There's a base hit. The 4th run's going to come in. So a 4-run first so far for Brattleboro. And I tell you, you've got to like that if you're the underdog, the lower seed. And it's now the number 9 hitter, Heidinger, coming up with 2 down. So Heidinger with the table set again for some more runs to come in. As it is 4-0 Brattleboro in the top of the first, as they haven't hit. That's going to be a base hit, and they're going to send the runner. Yeah, he's going to turn third, go to home. He'll score. They're going to go to third base, and he'll be safe. Tell you, Brattleboro not only hitting the ball, but running the bases very well, and they've gone around the order. As Martell scored, Harrison goes to third. Heidinger with an RBI will be at first, and now this becomes the 10th batter, Riley, who struck out in the top half of this inning. So Horvath will face 10 batters in the first. He has given up, I have it as 1, 2, 3, 4. I have it as 5 runs. And this is by far the worst outing of the year for Horvath, even though we're only in the first half inning. Again, Post 31 came out, made some errors, issued 3 walks, and you just can't win ball games like that. A lot of time to correct that, I understand. But in these playoff games, I tell you, you get that underdog going. That's another shot. Triller over his head again. And again, it looked like he misjudged the ball. That's going to score a couple more runs. And he's going to hold it, and Brattleboro breaking this thing wide open here in the top of the first. And again, very uncharacteristic problems fielding. As I'm looking, Heidinger ends up at second base as Harrison scores and Heidinger scores. And yeah, who would have thought this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 runs on the 7-run top of the first. And I think right now he's just trying to get Horvath to get that 3rd out as he's facing his 11th batter. And he has given up a couple line drive doubles and a triple to, I want to check my book on that. Well, a couple of shots over Triller's head in center field. Yeah, there's been a triple, a couple doubles. I mean, balls hit very hard. And again, I haven't seen all season where the ball's been able to get over the top of Triller like that. Twice here already in the first. So Rutland going to have a long road to hoe here as they're down 7, and they're not out of the inning yet. Yeah, and that'll be a wild pitch now, and that'll allow the runner to go to third base. So it just keeps getting uglier right now for Post 31. Again, there's already been 1 visit to the mound, and Coach Belomo. And I'm just speculating. I have no idea what he's thinking. I got a feel he's just trying to get Horvath out of this inning. Regroup. That's going to be off from the bat to the pitcher, and Brattleboro finally the 3rd out, but they'll put 7 runs on the board after the half inning of play, and they'll have the lead. Well, Isaac Earl with his back team wearing number 13. Obviously not very superstitious, and he's had quite a cushion handed to him. Rutland will send Dan Favreau, Mike Triller, and TJ Oliver to the plate here. And I do believe even though it's a 9-inning possibility for 9-inning game. Don't forget the mercy rule. That Rutland needs to come out of this inning with a couple of 3 runs just mentally to get back in the ball game. They have not been in a position like this all season long at any point against any opponent. That's going to be the leadoff base hit, as that'll go through the hole at first. And Favreau now, who's got a good set of wheels, and this will give Coach Palomo some options as far as if he wants to start using that running game. Triller up, and again, he's got tremendous power. And he'll bat obviously from the left side. And Earl will miss with the soft stuff. For Brattleboro, I'll tell you this. They have Devin Rhodes playing first base. Troy Scott's a second. Soren Peltz Walsh, who will now be known as Walsh, is at shortstop. And Adam Harrison is at third. As there's a pretty stiff breeze blowing. As there is the threat of thunder showers in the forecast off the PEGTV weather map. You just go to PEGTV.com and watch it. Left field, Tommy Heidinger. Brendan Riley's in center. And Jamie Martell is the right fielder. I know innings left or not, when you get down by 7 and you're the top seed in the South and you're playing a team that you beat and they have an inning like that, if you don't respond in some manner, you start to lose a little of that edge. Could be a double play, going to be bobbled around, and it's going to end up with nobody being out as Favreau will go down to second. I'm not sure they would have gotten the double play anyways, but that ball hit down to Scott and he just couldn't come up with it cleanly. So Oliver up, and again, he's a guy that in one ball game this season, he had a back-to-back triples. So again, he's a big kid, and he's got good power, and he's looking for the key hit right here. And that pitch called a strike just above the belt, and that was the breaking ball. Isaac Earl, a good-sized young man himself on the mound, throws with that soft lefty touch. He's looking at the runner at first. Yeah, right there, it's just the old, I don't know what I want to throw yet, so I'm going to stall and fake the throw to second. So Oliver with Aaron Bloomer on deck, and Oliver waited, but that'll be popped up. That's going to be a kind of pop-up too where nobody can advance. So there's the first out, and again, it's hard to be patient and hang back on that soft junk stuff. So Aaron Bloomer, then Sam Major, runners at first and second, 1 down now for post 31, who gave up 7 runs on 3 walks and 2 errors and a bunch of base hits in that top of the first, trying to settle down. Now this young man pitching, Isaac Earl, reminds me a lot from a couple of years ago. Brattleboro had a pitcher named Scooter Scott, and he threw a lot of soft junk stuff. And he was extremely efficient and effective. That's popped up, and that's going to be to Scott. And he fade back, and boy, that's up there a mile, and he'll make the grab very quickly now after having 2 on and nobody out. Back-to-back pop-ups to the second baseman, Scott, and this inning in danger of leaving 2 runners on base. Sam Major up, to be followed by Jeff Bloomer. Major, of course, the third baseman, and he's had a multiple home run game this year, and he is, again, he's got the capability. Has this field very equivalent to the dimensions at St. Peter's Field. I believe St. Peter's Field is about 410 to center field. This is 400. 330 down the right field line here, where it's 275 at St. Peter's Field, but then the left field line's very much the same. And that pitch too far inside. So Brattleboro trying to respond by not allowing any runs here in the bottom half of the first defensively. Boy, if they can go to the second without giving up any runs and having that 7-run lead, it's mentally stifling, because then post 31's got to worry about the mercy rule. That's going to be hit to left field, and they're going to send the runner home, and he is going to score as Favreau will slide, and Major will pick up an RBI single, and then Triller will take second. So Favreau, who led the inning off with a single, comes in to score. Major will have an RBI, like I said, and he'll be at first base. Jeff Bloomer up, getting the start in left field. Spent most of the season at the DH position, so he's been hitting the ball, again, with a good average. But that looks to be the third out, as going over is Riley. He'll make the grab. Rutland picks up just the 1 run. They'll be down by 6 going into the second. 7-1 Brattleboro. Horvath coming out to start the second. He faced 11 batters in the first. 3 walks, 1 walk, and Whitworth, the catcher, to lead things off. Took that pitch, which was close, but called a ball. Whitworth had an RBI triple. And that's a shot to Triller, and he's going to plant himself underneath it and make the grab. He actually might have been playing a little bit deeper this time, as that's the first out of the second inning. Now Troy Scott up, he had a double, an RBI double. Again, in the middle of that order, really pounding the ball against Horvath. Plus, I want to see if he's changed what he's going to throw for pitches in the sequence here. And that's first 2 batters of the second inning facing first pitch fastballs. Just to get up in the count. I just thought he threw too much soft stuff that first inning. But Brattleboro, give him credit. There were some legitimate shots hit. And that's straight back for an 0-2 count. Realistically, and just stating the obvious, which is what anybody does when they do a game, broadcast a game, is Rutland needing, like a basketball terminology, a defensive stop right here. Even though we're only in a second, they need a quicker inning just mentally, and not only for the obvious reason, for the pitcher and the pitch count. But that's foul tip, caught, strike 3. That's the second strikeout of the ball game for Horvath, as Scott will go down swinging for out number 2 in his second inning. Isaac Earl up now. He walked his first time up. And again, the camera is shaking around. I apologize. I can't do anything about it. I'm very appreciative piece of staging that Castleton State College uses for their baseball, softball programs. But it's just so windy, as it always is in center field, where you just clear cut. And the wind comes through. Makes the staging shake, which makes the camera vibrate. And that will be called a strike as it tickles that inside corner. So Horvath just 1 out away from having just a total opposite type of inning. After facing 11, he's looking to go 1-2-3. And he'll crank the fastball inside, this time a little bit too high, and jack the runner, the batter back, and it'll be a ball. 2-1 the count, 2 down. 7-1 Brattleboro in the top of the second. Fouled off. Oh, Muskowski looks like he's got it, and in fair territory, the wind blowing that way, and it will be a 1-2-3 inning. So Rutland, see if they can chip away at that lead going in the bottom of the second, down 6. Yesterday's winning pitcher for Rutland, Ed Lewicki, he's the DH today. And he'll look at ball 1 from Isaac Earl, and I'll check the defense up, but it looks like it stayed the same with Whitworth, the catcher, Earl, the pitcher. Lewicki getting his first at bat. That's going to be a tough play down the third baseline. The throw to first got him. Nice job of charging the ball and the throw to first on that 5-3 ground out. So Lewicki will be out number 1. Now Nate Swan batting out of the number 8 spot, the catcher for post 31. But at first base, Devin Rhodes, Troy Scott, who had 2 putouts in that first inning. Second base is Peltz Walsh. Harrison's at third. I'll get to the outfield after this pitch from Earl, and that's going to be looking to center field. Seems to have it under control. Will make the call, make the catch. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second for post 31. And now Alex Muskowski in that number 9 spot. That was Brendan Riley in the center fielder that just made the catch. Jamie Martell is the right fielder, and Tommy Heidinger is the left fielder. And he's probably got the coolest name of anybody on the field right now. If he gets a base hit, we'll call it it's a Heidinger. So top of the order, Favreau on deck, and Muskowski trying to avoid a 1-2-3 inning here for Rutland. And again, that will be called a strike as he just dropped that so gingerly over that outside corner. Earl hasn't thrown the ball hard. You've just got to have patience with him as a batter. And looks to be in the field of play, and it will be a 1-2-3 inning for Brattleboro. They'll maintain that 6-run lead as they have the 7-1 lead over Rutland. Coming out for inning number 3. Again, faced 11 batters in that first inning, had a 1-2-3 second, so a complete opposite. Now Devin Rhodes up. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in that long first inning. Just one thing to note, Rutland offensively did pick up a run in the first, went down 1-2-3 in the second, but exhibiting no patience with the pitcher right now for Brattleboro. And that'll miss inside. There was no thought process ever that Horvath was going to go 9 innings, but because of that first inning, I think that really shortened his afternoon up. And I'm looking over at first base. It's still Aaron Bloomer at first, Dan Favreau at second, TJ Oliver, the shortstop, and at third base, Sam Major, and of course Nate Swan doing the catching. And that will be the fourth walk that Horvath has given up here to start off the third inning. And again, like I said, equating it to basketball, Rutland Post 31 needing some defensive stops as they're down by 6, but just the momentum, you can just feel it. As Martella, he walked and scored back in the first, and that's been his only at-bat. Shows some small ball. He'll get the sacrifice down. They'll have one play to first. That will be it. So they'll get the out at first, but a nice job of bunting the runner over by the Brattleboro Post 5 squad. And I'll bring up Adam Harrison. He had a single and an RBI. As I said, there were 3 walks and a couple errors, but Brattleboro also hit the ball well in that first inning to the 2 and 7 runs. And I'll tell you, I've seen teams do it, come out of the loser's bracket and take the tournament, but get in a 9-inning game, there's a long way to go. It's just, I'm sure that was quite a shocking experience for Post 31 to find themselves down by 7 after a half inning. Again, Horvath with the ability to pick runners off all season long, and that's going to be to first base, and Bloomer will make the grab. And the nice thing about that, not only did they get the out, but the runner can't advance any further than second base. So 2 down now on that flyout. And Heidinger up. He had a single and an RBI, and he scored a run. So he had a very busy first inning. Yeah, they're calling him Heidinger on the PA announcement, but I got it right from the coach, and he called him Heidinger. And like I said, I'd pay to have a name like that. Foul ball right off the foot of Heidinger for a strike, and he'll try to walk that off. Again, the website is PEGTV.com. Click video on demand. It's free service. You can watch local sports anytime, anywhere. And you can also do it the old-fashioned way by just turning on the television and tuning into channel 15 itself. And don't forget Saturday afternoons at 4 o'clock. The program director, Tom Leipold, starts games of the week. So every Saturday at 4, you can start watching local sports. And that goes right through to Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Then check the schedule through the Rutland Herald newspaper, and you'll be able to see when games are going to be played during the weeknights. And so Heidinger looking like he's going to be able to carry on here after falling the ball off his foot. There are 2 down and a runner at second. In the third, scheduled for 9. Horvath with a couple strikeouts in the ball game, but also 4 walks. Again, he'll pitch with a little bit too much finesse today as he's trying to paint the corners. That'll miss for a ball. Sometimes you just got to rear back and fire the darn thing. And that will be a foul ball. I thought it was, but I'm quite a distance away, and I just had to wait for the umpire to make the ruling, and that will be the call. Again, Colchester played before this in the elimination game. They won against Addison, so Addison gone. And Colchester will play tomorrow, and that's going to give a chance for the runner to go to third base, and he'll be, will they call him safe? Yeah, they'll be backed up. The ball will be picked up by Oliver. As when the tag was applied by Major, it seemed when he brought his hand up after making the tag that the ball had popped out. But he will be safe down at third base. I didn't know if it's going to be one of those deals where, like, after you make the catch and you're transferring the ball to your throwing hand, that if you dropped it, they let it slide. But nope. And that's going to be to Horvath, the first, and that will be the inning. They'll strand a runner at third, but they maintain that 7-1 lead going into the bottom of the third over Post 31 on Munger Vision. In the bottom of the third for Rutland, Favreau, who had a single and scored the lone run for Post 31, will be at the plate, and he'll watch ball 1, a rare fastball from Isaac Earl. I said if you to take it like a punch count in boxing, they give you percentages of punches land, percentage of his breaking balls like we just saw. He's got to be throwing 80% soft stuff today, or as they call it, junk. He's throwing 80% junk out there, but he's also got a 7-1 lead. I'd like to see Rutland be a little more patient this time through the order. This is their second look now at Isaac Earl's stuff. On deck after Dan Favreau will be Mike Triller, TJ Oliver, and then Aaron Bloomer in the number 4 spot. Rutland now with 3 errors in the ball game in 3 innings. 4 walks, 3 errors, and that's going to put you behind most of the time. That's a slow grounder. Hit the short, the charge, the throw, and safe at first base. As Favreau, with those set of wheels, able to get it down the line and become safe. So I'll give him an infield single unofficially, and now Triller up. Triller reached on an error committed by Troy Scott, the second baseman. That ball there was charged by Soren Peltz Walsh, the shortstop, and that's just way too long a name for a shortstop. So he's going to become Walsh now the rest of the ball game, and that will be called a strike. Okay. The nice thing here is the scoreboard's like 8 feet from me, so I can see balls and strikes without wearing my glasses. Because that pitch to me could have gone either way, and that would be called a strike. So from the stretch, you can see Earl looking over at first base, and he'll come home with it. That could drop into the gap, and that's going to hit and roll and be cut off in center field, and Favreau will make it to third base. So Rutland's offense starting to show a little life here in the third. And again, sometimes that second and third time through the order, as Triller will get a single. Oliver up now. He popped up to the second baseman. Don't forget, Rutland had first and second with nobody down in the first, and then back-to-back pop-ups to second base kind of really put a bucket of water on that fire that was smoldering. And that's where you come back to that patience thing. So Oliver, chance to cut the lead down, will take ball one, and it hit him. So he will take first base, as that's the first batter to be hit by a pitch, and that will load him up for post 31 as the first three batters all reach. And now bring up Aaron Bloomer, who popped up to Scott at second base. And all of a sudden, there's some noise from that post 31 dugout. Good noise coming from post 31 dugout. There was some noise during that defensive first inning. It was just the coaching staff. And you know, you can understand why. Again, just gently trying to tickle that outside corner with that breaking ball, and that'll be ball one. So Bloomer, the fourth batter to come to the plate here, and Rutland trying to respond with their own big inning. In Brattleboro, 11 batters in that first inning. That's good patience. And Favreau broke late. He's coming home, and the pitcher didn't cover the bag, and he's safe. That's totally the pitcher's fault right there, in my opinion, as he stood on the mound and watched Favreau break late and then never covered the bag until it was way too late. The catcher tried to make the tag himself. So on the wild pitch, Favreau will score his second time today and make it 7-2 Rutland. And Bloomer. Earl almost looked confused on the play. And that's one of those things they teach right from Little League on as a pitcher. You know, something like that. You head to home base no matter if the runner breaks or not. Be there to cover the bag. Again, both Bloomers getting the start today. Just so you don't think I'm stuttering when I talk about the next Bloomer coming up. So Aaron Bloomer, who plays first base, bats number 4. And then Jeff Bloomer getting the start in right field today. Actually, left field today. It's different because I look at the game from behind here. And that's going to be a fair ball. And I don't think, the smartest play there was just to eat the ball as it was hit at the right spot, at the right pace. And that will reload the bases up. Again, unofficially, I'm going to give him an infield single because that would have been a hard, long throw off the backhand to get him. And so the base is juiced. Sam Major up. Major with a massive home run yesterday. Had a single, an RBI single his first time up today. And Rutland trying to get right back into this ball game here in the third. Oh, he tried to sit back on that breaking ball, fall it straight down into the ground for strike one. On deck is Jeff Bloomer. The outfield, I don't know, in my opinion, they're playing very shallow in center field and actually in left. And that will be a good reason why they're doing it. He almost did not have to move, and will they send the runner? They will, and the throw will be coming in, and he will be safe as the ball will pop free. He had beaten the throw home. Runners at first and second, and another run in here for Rutland. As Triller, for a big guy, has very deceptive speed. But Major will pick up his second RBI in that sacrifice fly. That's also the first out. And now Jeff Bloomer up. He also flied out to Riley in center field. So 7-3 as Jeff Bloomer will be followed by Lewicki. That's that's a pretty cool name too, Lewicki, but just not as cool as Heidinger. Lewicki, though, the slower you say it, the cooler it sounds. But he's on deck. So Earl getting extended into this inning now as he kind of cruised along for a while. And a good eye there by Jeff Bloomer, as that'll be a 1-1 count now. There's only the one out, 7-3. Got the makings of a wild one here in day number 2 of the winners bracket, Brattleboro and Rutland. Whoever wins this is going to be sitting in pretty sweet shape tomorrow, coming into day number 3 with a 2-0 record. I said Essex won yesterday, but boy, did they go through some pitchers in a 16-11 win over Bellows Falls. And a strike called there. And Bellows Falls, I don't care what year it is or who's playing, they just seem to always be that dark horse who pops up in these playoffs. Coach Bob Lockerbie does a good job of prepping them all season, just enough to get them in the playoffs and then gets them going. That's going to be the short. There's one, and actually his foot wasn't on the bag. Will they call him out? He wasn't even on the bag at second base when he made the catch, but they're going to check and they're going to call him out. And well, I had a great angle. You could see there was a foot space between his foot and the bag, and the runner should have been safe at second. That's just one of those token, you give it to him because they always call him out on those plays in the major leagues. So I'm looking. So Bloomer will be called out on the force out for the second out. Now Lewicki up, who grounded out to the third baseman, Harrison. Did you see what I saw, or did I miss that call? Yeah. There was a mile between his foot and second base when he made the catch.
Just an automatic.
Yeah, it is. They just automatically, they mail it in on those calls. And Lewicki right there, just way out ahead of that pitch from Isaac Earl. So again, Rutland with 2 down now, but they do have a runner at third base. Actually, runners at the corners. No, neither team, when they've had runners on, has shown that they're going to try to be aggressive on the bases. But in Brattleboro's defense in that first inning, they were just hitting the ball so well they didn't have to risk moving them up by trying to use their speed on the bases. They were hitting triples and doubles. Rutland right here, though, you'd hate to take the bat out of Lewicki's hands with a runner at third. There he goes, and he will swing through it. That'll be strike 3. They'll pick up a couple. 7-3 Brattleboro. We go into the top of the 4th on Munger Vision. Horvath answering the bell here in the 4th round. Again, I think it's going to be a matter of, as he's pitched the last 2 innings shutout, looks at Riley, the center fielder. That's ball 1. I think overall for Rutland, it's going to be, can they come back and make up for that first inning when they basically stayed on the buses physically and mentally and never showed up for that top half of the first. They're chipping away. It's 7-3 right now. In the 4th, it's going to be Riley, Walsh, and Whitworth. That'll be foul ball. Defensively, I've heard no changes called over the PA system, so I'm just going to assume that Nate Swan still doing any catching. Aaron Bloomer still at first. Dan Favreau's at second. TJ Oliver at short. And that pitch will miss, low and outside. And Major over at third base. Trillers in center field. The right fielder is Miskovsky. And Jeff Bloomer is the left fielder. And on a close pitch, that'll become walk number 5 of the ball game. And it doesn't guarantee you are going to get a run this inning, but it makes the odds go up as far as getting that leadoff batter on. That's why those walks, though, they come back to get you. Again, 3 walks in the first, 1 in the 3rd. Now here, 1 in the 4th. And Walsh grounded out. He's walked and grounded out to the pitcher. Now Horvath, as I've stated, has a good pickoff move to first base. And of course, being a left-hander, he's looking right over at the runner, who is, of course, being held on by Aaron Bloomer. Brattleboro with those 7 first-inning runs. I tell you, if you're coming in as the underdog, the lower seed, you probably couldn't have scripted a better way to start the ball game than that. Tell you too, Rutland's intensity level picking up a little bit. There's the move to first and the runner back safe. I couldn't tell you which game it was. I did it. But Horvath was pitching, and in 3 different innings, he picked a runner off from first base. 3 times he picked him off. And that'll be high for a ball. Swan looking down at first, the runner staying put. Brattleboro again back around to the top of the order here in the fourth. Scheduled for 9, but the mercy rule kicks in after 6.5 if you are down by 10 runs or more. The outfield, well, I'm looking at Triller now. He's probably about 8 to 10 feet deeper this time through the order than where he was the first time when a couple balls were line shots over his head. There is a hitter's breeze blowing too, a very stiff breeze from, well, I'm going to go from first to center field, first base to center field, throw over to first, the tag applied, and runner back safe. Again, you can watch some local sports here and there on the internet, but we're the only service that gives you the choice to turn it on your television. Big flat screen, 52-incher, sitting there with no socks or shoes on in your living room, soft drink next to you, and you can watch our sports either on the internet or on television. We're the only people offering that service. Like I tell you, the unofficial leader in local sports coverage, the Underdogs, Channel 15. That's going to be a base hit as Bloomer will get in front of it and knock it down. And runners at first and second now for Brattleboro here in the fourth. As that ball hit to left field. I better find the right team. Here we go. They had to flip the book over. And Kyle Whitworth up. He has tripled, scored a run, driven in a run, and flied out to Triller in center field. And Coach Palomo coming out for the second time today to talk to Horvath. And again, just speculating by, I got to feel that Coach Palomo knows his team can't afford to give up another big inning here. And with just the no outs, runners at first and second, this does have the making of a disaster here in the fourth. And you got to feel if Horvath gets in trouble here, that's going to be his afternoon. So, in my opinion, which is totally unofficial, if he doesn't get the out here, we're probably going to see a new pitcher come in. So, Whitworth is set, and Horvath is set from the stretch, the pitch coming. An outside corner called a strike. That triple by Whitworth back in the first was to dead center field, almost to the track, the warning track. And the ball will get by Swan, and the runners move up to second and third. And again, just a real lack of intensity feeling right now from post 31. Because what that does is obviously it puts two runners in scoring position, takes away the force out from the infield bases other than home plate, takes away the traditional double play. It makes it so you can score on a wild pitch, pass, ball, error, deep enough fly ball. So Horvath would love to generate an out via the strikeout right now. That or a pop-up on the infield, but he's looking for something that won't advance the base runners home. That's going to be out of play. Toward the football stadium here at Castleton. And I got my chance yesterday to walk around it and take a look, and it looked bigger on TV. It looked bigger on Channel 20. It's cool. It's nice to walk on. It's beautiful. But it's just amazing how on television it looks so much bigger. Oh, that's going to be a shot. He's going to have some RBIs. Triller will pick it up. One run in, and they're going to hold the runner at third. So first and third, and 8-3 now. And there is action in that Rutland bullpen. As Riley will score, Walsh will go to third. And I'm looking to that dugout, and nobody coming. And Horvath kind of was hanging around there at the mound, thinking somebody was coming from the dugout. And if there's a move, it's not happening yet. I just can't read the number of who's throwing. Oh, 35. Okay, so that's a little Godzik. That's Eric Godzik. As Brattleboro has their hitting shoes on today. 8 runs and not quite 4 innings of play. And that pitch will be high for a ball. Again, first and third, and Brattleboro is going to be adventurous. This is where I'd send the runner on the steal from first to second. Nice stop that time by Swan. And again, I don't know if Horvath arm hurts or what, but he is just throwing a majority of just soft stuff today. Really has stayed away from the fastball. He'll miss high, and you can almost just hear the drips in the tank being empty. You don't have to be tired. A lot of it is just psychological as a pitcher. That time, nice pitch there on the inside corner. And that breeze has been continuous from first base to center field. Godzik started throwing just this inning, and there's the chance. You got to remember the runner at third, and the runner will score from third, and there's the out. So I got to believe that was a designated pickle by the offense to score the run, which it did. So the 9th run will come in. They will record the out, but got the job done as far as getting Walsh home. And again, I can't vouch that that was the intent of that play, but I got a feeling it was. As Scott now up with the bases clean, but a 9-3 score. And that looks to be playable by Miskovsky coming in, calling for it, grabbing it. Some more damage, though, as Brattleboro picking up a couple runs. Well, it's only 2 outs, too. Yeah, it happens when you stand out in center field in the sun all day. So Isaac Earl will get a chance to bat in the correct world. My world, that was it. 2 down. So 2 down now after the pickoff play and the fly ball to right field. And Earl, well, he walked in the first inning and flied out to Miskovsky in the second. Again, Horvath extended in this inning. Nothing like the first inning, but I can't remember a game this year where Post 31 surrendered 9 runs complete. The whole ball game. And again, he's just been nibbling all day out there. Of course, it would be a sweet ball game if Rutland came back to rally to win it. That'd get me another 7 or 8 viewers. And you see Swan hold that pitch a little bit longer after he caught it, but it'll be called a ball. And it's Horvath working through this 86-degree heat. That was the temperature at game time, and I know that because of the Channel 15 weather map that you can access on PEGTV.com. As that becomes walk number 6 now for Horvath in the ballgame. And again, everybody kind of pausing, waiting for Coach Blom to come out of the dugout. Godzik is done throwing in the bullpen. And he ain't coming out. And my English teacher probably just rolled over. He is not coming out. Devin Rhodes up. And that pitch will fade inside for a ball. Rhodes reached on a fielder's choice in the first and eventually scored a run. Then he reached on an error in the third. And there has been a bunch of errors and walks. And this might be the actual third out. And there's the flip. And it is officially the third out now. So a couple more runs for Brattleboro. And they'll have the 9-3 lead going into the bottom of the 4th. So Nate Swan, he's going to be leading things off. And Swan's only been up the 1 time, and he played out to center field to Riley. Miskovsky on deck, and again, Rutland just not looking like Rutland did all regular season and in the first game here of this tournament. They did. They looked like they got off the bus sleeping in that top half of the first, and now they're trying to find that on switch. But again, when you look through their lineup, they have the capability to come right back and get back in this ball game. Isaac Earl, to his credit, is pitching a much better ball game than I give him credit for, but I don't know if he's actually throwing the ball hard enough to make a hickey on you if you hit it with it. Patience as they come back through the order here for the second time. Earl, big lefty out there, number 13. And that, it looks like it's going to be caught, and it will be caught on the run. Nice job of tracking the ball down in left field. That's Heidinger. So we had a Heidinger right there as he'll make the catch. Now Miskovsky up as that's 1 out, nobody on now. Miskovsky, he popped up to the third baseman, Harrison actually. And again, a good eye there by Miskovsky. That's a nasty pitch to a left-handed batter, but he laid off. That's, if you watch the Red Sox, that's what Big Papi strikes out on all the times, that exact style of pitch to the lefty like he is. Goes right back to it. And ball 2 is the call. So 2-0 the count to Miskovsky with Favreau, the top of the order, on deck. Favreau 2 for 2 today, and he scored twice. Good pitch there. Put a little more juice on that one and got the corner. Yeah, Favreau, the on-deck batter, has scored 2 of the 3 Rutland runs. He's got 2 singles. And that looks to be playable by Riley in center field, and he will take about 4 steps in, make the grab, and very quickly the number 8 and number 9 batter are gone. 2 down here in the 4th for Rutland. So Favreau, if he can extend it to a 3-for-3 day, he'll have Triller up next. And that looks like Riley getting to it. Yeah, he'll make the grab, and it was an easy inning of work for Earl as he retires the side in order. And we'll go to the 5th with Brattleboro up 9-3 over post 31. So Horvath, to my surprise, coming back out here for the 5th. It's Martell, Harrison, and Heidinger, the 7, 8, 9 part of the order. Rutland fell behind by 7 after a half inning, able to get that 1 run in the bottom of the 1st. Picked up a couple more in the 2nd, but then surrendered 2 more back, and they still find themselves down 9-3. And I'm looking for any other changes, and no, everything looks the same. They'll start off with another walk, as that's 6 walks now issued by Horvath. There is no action in the bullpen. Eric Godzik has warmed up, and here comes Coach Palomo, and I have to wait and see, but I'll be surprised if he doesn't take the ball from Horvath. And I'll stay up just until that's the change. So I can only imagine it'll be Eric Godzik coming in. He was the pitcher that warmed up. So yeah, we'll have a new pitcher up after the fade. Eric Godzik coming on here in the 5th. He'll inherit the runner at first, and he'll pitch from the stretch, and he'll hit the first batter. So that was quick. 1st and 2nd now for Brattleboro. Again, they're right on the verge of breaking this game wide open. They're up 9-3. And don't forget the mercy rule kicks in after 6.5 innings. In this case, Rutland will get the bat in the bottom of the 7th, but if they're down by 10 or more after 7 innings, that's it. Heidinger up. He grounded out to the pitcher, and he has an RBI single. Of course, he grounded out to the pitcher, who was Horvath at the time. I'll tell you what, he got the bunt down on a tough pitch high and outside. It was bobbled, and they will get the out at first base. Runners do move up. Nice call there to sacrifice the runners over to 2nd and 3rd with just the 1 out now. So on a day when Brattleboro can really do no wrong, they lay down a perfect sacrifice. Now Riley up. He struck out in the 1st, doubled in 2 runs also in the 1st. He got around twice, and then walked and scored in the 4th. So that's already a pretty productive inning or pretty productive offensive day for the center fielder, Riley. And I believe he's got 4 putouts in the center field. And again, more soft stuff, as that will very seldom nowadays you see somebody come in and just throw the ball hard in Legion ball. And this is no knock on Godzik, but it just seems in the last 10 years that pitchers come in and think they have to throw 4 or 5 different pitches in 1 inning, when it used to be just a fastball changeup, possibly fastball curveball. But nowadays, you talk to these youngsters, they have 4 or 5 pitches they name off the gut. You know, I always thought, find one that works first and stick with it for a while, and then work the other ones in, because then you don't get behind in the count all the time. I like that, just a good old fastball down the middle of the plate for a strike. Of course, I like that till they hit it, and then I'm like, what the heck is he doing throwing that? But for the moment, I'm happy. Major, with the big play at 3rd, will throw to 1st and get the out number 2. As you can see him check over to 3rd base, but the runner will stay put. So 2 down now, and Godzik trying to get out of this inning without allowing those runs to score. Yeah, so Soren Pels Walsh walked and scored in the 1st, also grounded out to the pitcher in the 1st, singled and scored in the 4th. As you start going through the book, looking at Brattleboro, and it's from number 1 to 9 in the order, they've all gotten base hits, all got on base. And Godzik taking over here in the 5th. And that was a good pitch there on the inside corner at the knee for a strike. On a warm day from Castleton State College No, it's not the professional internet sports people. It's PEGTV here bringing you this Legion tournament. Your unofficial leader in local sports coverage. So Godzik, just that one batter away from able to strand those two runners. One breaking ball there, and it was a sharper breaking ball. It wasn't one of those big old soft old man breaking balls. That was a good sharp breaking ball there. So he's got a 2-2 count to wind up the pitch, and he's hit his second batter. Well, he's going to own that inside part of the plate before this inning's over. I'm going to tell you that. And that was a fastball that got Walsh up in the shoulder area. So bases loaded with 2 down, and Whitworth, boy, I got to tell you, if you go to the Brattleboro lineup, he's the guy I'd want up, as he's got a triple and a single and 2 RBIs. And they want to get straight on these signs as that's Swan coming out to talk to Godzik. I said the younger brother of Justin Godzik. And he's put 2 of these batters on via hitting them with the pitches. And that's kind of been the theme for Post 31 today. They've hurt themselves a lot in the ball game. Something they didn't do through the regular season. Long look in from Godzik. The catcher set now. Too far outside, and that'll be a ball. A walk will bring in a run as Whitworth. We'll watch that pitch fade away, and a snap throw down to first, and diving back under the tag over at first base was Walsh. Scott on deck if Whitworth can extend the inning. Again, he'll float it in, and that's going to push it to a 3-ball, no strike count. And again, I mean, this really kind of epitomizes what's going on with Post 31 today. 2 hit batters and ball 4, and they'll issue the walk, so the run. Not really so much what Brattleboro did, more than what Rutland did that really generated the run. That's 7 walks for Rutland pitching today to go along with a couple hit batters. So Troy Scott up, he has doubled, he has an RBI, he has scored, he has struck out, and he's flied out to Miskovsky in right field. So he's had a little smorgasbord of offensive stuff today. And again, that breaking ball in the inside corner for a strike. Base is still juice for Brattleboro. Post 5 looking for the first big upset of the tournament with a 10-3 lead. That's to Oliver as he'll come up, go to second. That's the inning, but again, Brattleboro able to pick up a run and push lead to 10-3 as we go into the bottom of the 5th. So Isaac Earl. Now, again, I got to flip the book over. Going to be looking at Triller, Oliver, and Bloomer. That's Aaron Bloomer. Jeff will be up later. So again, Rutland looking to get something started. That's going to be down to Scott at second. He'll flip the first, and there's the 4-3 ground out. Triller gone on 1 pitch here in the 5th. Prior to that, he'd reached on an error and had a single. TJ Oliver up. Last time up, he got hit by a pitch, got on base, and was stranded at third base. Now, I know there's still a lot of innings left, but Ron, you can think he's got to put together a couple runs each inning here, or chip away a little bit. Momentum on the side of the offense carries over to the momentum is intensity with your pitcher in the next inning and your defense playing sharp. And Earl, with that breaking ball, will get the strike called. So 1-1 now, the count. And TJ Oliver is starting at shortstop today. Right off the end of the bat and foul. They haven't really seen a lot of fastballs to come around on, but they've also been off balance when the fastball has come because they've been kind of lulled into that I got to hold back mode. As Riley can't get there from center field, and that'll be a base hit just over the second baseman Scott's head and in front of the center fielder Riley. So Oliver with a base hit here in the 5th with the 1 out. Bloomer, well, he popped up to Scott at second and had an infield single. That was that deep shot down the third baseman who got it on the backhand. And again, Rutland hasn't really been in a position to try their running game today, as I doubt we'll see Oliver taking off here in this situation. From Castleton State College, Munger Vision and Legion Baseball, the playoffs. Rutland coming in with a #1 South seed. Essex with the #1 overall seed. Rutland with the win yesterday, 12-4 over Colchester, the Cannons. But right now, they're kind of in a precarious position against Brattleboro, down 10-3. And I knew that'd be called a strike. And again, the outfield playing very shallow for Bloomer. And those gaps a lot larger right now between the center fielder and on his flanks on each side. Bloomer hit the ball well all season. That looks like Riley talking for it, calling for it, got it. I tell you, he's starting to really pile up the putouts. As he's been very mobile, very good range out there in center field. 2 down now for Sam Major. He's had a RBI single and a sacrifice fly to center field. And boy, if they ever need something to pick him up, it'd be one of those Major shots that Major hits. So he'll step out and take a practice swing. Again, Earl just kind of cruising along here today, the pitcher for Brattleboro. So again, he looked the runner back to first. Actually, he stepped off the rubber. So Major will step back into the box, and we will get going here in the 5th. And again, just couldn't hold back on that enough. A very weak swing and a strike called. As Eric Godzik has come on in relief of Kyle Horvath, the starting pitcher for Rutland, the top half of this inning. And that should be the 3rd out as Earl to first, and that is it. And again, one stranded as we go to the 6th in Brattleboro with a 10-3 lead over post 31. Godzik's job pretty simple right here. He's got to put goose eggs up on the board as we're getting late in the ball game. We're in the 6th. Isaac Earl up, and he had a big swing and a miss for strike 1. So I just try to locate Earl. That's Devin Rhodes and Jamie Martell due up next behind the Brattleboro pitcher. And again, that ball hung up in the strike zone, but it'll be fouled back for strike 2. So an 0-2 count to Earl with a 10-3 Brattleboro lead. And again, like I said, looking for the first big knockout punch of the tournament, and they're looking to have it at Rutland's expense. Rutland winning the game at St. Peter's Field during the regular season. I believe that was a Sunday afternoon game. I want to say it finished up at 4-0. And that pitch turned inside, just missed. So with a 2-2 count, see if they can get the leadoff batter out of the way this inning. He'll nibble to the outside, and he'll push it to a full count. So Eric Godzik, into the windup, the pitch, and that's going to be to Triller on a shot, hit the center field. Off the wall, yeah. And Triller will pick it up. You can't get much closer than that action right there. And he'll have a double of it. A deep shot to center field, and you saw right into the center fielder's eyes. That's 3 big shots now to center field by Brattleboro, and that hit just below us. So the leadoff batter on again with a triple this time, and Lewicki up. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to check. I got the book flipped over. Let me get that down. It's Isaac Earl. There we go. I got the right guy now. And Rhodes, Devin Rhodes up. And I'm going to have to change the battery here in 1 second. What I was doing was watching Triller's eyes come back, trying to find the ball because I couldn't see it in the sky with my terrible eyesight, my old eyesight. And I didn't want to get clocked with that thing staying out center field. As it is, it probably missed me by 7 feet. Now be to the backstop, and the third base goes Earl. And again, Rutland just really shooting themselves in the foot here. And I'm sorry, that was a double by Earl, not a triple. I want to apologize for that. But Rutland's between the walks, the errors, and just the really not used to seeing them do this season. They've been such an intense, sharp bunch, but you got to have a game like this, I guess, all year. But it's just too bad they had to have it in the tournament. But they still could come back and win this thing. Pitch called a strike at the letters. And I got to switch batteries out here after this at bat. Hopefully, I'll make it through this at bat. The issues of batteries were always going to be a problem for me, but I did discover that they have a outlet behind me. Oh, it's Swan looking, Swan calling, Swan catching for the out. Bloomer with the new battery will make it the grab. The runner is going to score. Yeah, the throw will be up the line, and there's the 11th run as Earl with that leadoff double will come around to score. With 2 down, that becomes a sacrifice fly, so the fly out on that side. Now Adam Harrison up. He was hit by pitches last time up. Again, Brattleboro just keep building toward that mercy rule. That'll be fouled back for a strike. Yeah, 11-3. Now, hypothetically, if they pick up 2 runs the next inning and have a 13-3 lead and Rutland doesn't score in the bottom of the 7th, that's your ball game. Major pats the glove, the long throw got him. Another run for Brattleboro. They'll tack on the lead to 11-3 as we go into the bottom of the 6th from Castleton State College. Now it will be Jeff Bloomer, Ed Lewicki, and Nate Swan to open. Muskoski batting in the 4 spot here in the bottom of the 6th. Isaac Earl starting things off with a strike as he's really hasn't gone as far as I can keep track. He hasn't got a huge pitch count going right now. Nothing crazy. That could drop in as Riley trying to get there. He's going to drop into the gap and roll. And coming around will be Bloomer to second base with a stand-up double. Yeah, see if that gets Post 31's offense cooking. And so Jeff Bloomer to second base. And Lewicki up now. He is grounded out to third and struck out. Again, with the offense Post 31 has at its disposal, 11-3 can turn around pretty quick. It's a good stop by the catcher, Whitworth, Kyle Whitworth. It's tough. You get in these 9-inning games and you're the catcher. By far, it's just kind of grueling in the summer heat and humidity. And Earl will miss high and outside. So a 2-ball, no strike count. Bloomer leading off with the double. Now Lewicki up. On the corner, little BB thrown there, called a strike. Again, this is the winner's bracket. Both these teams coming in undefeated after day 1. Whoever leaves here today with the win got a big advantage going into the tournament. That's a shot up the middle and a base hit. And are they going to send him? Yep, they're going to turn the corner and Bloomer coming in safe as he ran hard. Good hustle by Bloomer, and he'll come in to score. I'm looking for Lewicki. He stayed at first, yep. And Rutland now down 11-4 as Nate Swan up. He's flied out to center and flied out to right. So Swan looking to get his offense started here today. Now I've seen Nate during the regular season, in a different situation, small ball very well. I wouldn't expect that here, down 11-4. And so Earl, who gave up the leadoff double, will give up the single. So back-to-back hits by Post 31, and has the dugout making noise again. And that's going deep, 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 and that's going to carry over. That should score Lewicki, yeah, see him waving him around, and even with the wide turn, he'll score. Swan going to third and holding them up. And so Rutland with 2 runs here. Swan with a triple and an RBI. So that's a double, a single, and a triple, and Miskovsky up. He's popped up to third and flied out to center. And all of a sudden, those breaking balls look pretty fat to Rutland hitters. And that will warrant a visit to the mound. First time today Brattleboro's gone out to the mound. Clouds come rolling over the field. Hopefully it's not going to put some rain on Rutland and extinguish this beginning of a rally they have going here. Thunder showers are in the forecast for today, but I was hoping a little bit later. Miskovsky's had an excellent season for Rutland, looking to get fired up here in the postseason. And good eye right there. Boy, and it's something I thought we would see all after the first time they went through the order. Patience. Make Earl throw strikes to you. Don't help him out. There's the fastball, and it was right there. Strike 1. Or strike 2, excuse me. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 11-5 is Rutland back to within 6 again. That's going to be the shortstop. The run will come in. The long throw is going to be, I think they called him out. Yeah, he hustled down the line, but he will be called out, but he did drive the run in. So Swan will score, and there'll be an RBI for Miskovsky. And that is the first out. So Favreau up now. He scored twice. He's got 2 base hits, and he's popped out to center field. That's a foul ball. So now the base is clean, and Favreau looking to start things over again. 11-6, that's the closest Rutland has been since the top of the first when it was 0-0. At the halfway point of the first inning, at the bottom of the first, going into the bottom of the first, was 7-0. And that went around the plate, but didn't nick the corner. And a good eye by Favreau. Triller on deck. As Rutland with just the 1 out, trying to get a base runner on here and keep digging away. And Favreau again waited, but had to wait back on that foot as long as he could, waiting for that breaking ball to come down, but that's a tough thing to do. (11-6). The highlight of this inning so far has been the triple by Swan. There was also a double and a single. That's the shortstop, stays down low on it. The long throw, and it's going to be high. That's going to be out of play. That's going to be heading to second base. And you can see Favreau hustling, but he will have another on-base trip from that leadoff spot. You could just see the throw was going to be high from Walsh, and it was. And now Triller up. Again, Favreau with tremendous speed, so look for something here as far as a base hit. Very possible he could score. Triller, the center fielder, looking to get on track here offensively. Was looking to bunt, didn't bring the bat back, called a strike. Triller reached base on an error in the first inning, singled and scored in the third, and then grounded out to second base to Scott. As Earl off the fist and foul, brought the pitch inside and jammed him right into the warm-up. The pitcher warming up in the bullpen will make the catch. Nice job over there in the Brattleboro bullpen. So Triller with an 0-2 count. But again, Triller's been a big hitter all season long, looking to come through here in the clutch in the bottom of the 6th. Rutland down by 5. Favreau at second. And Triller ready. Oh, nasty pitch. He'll retire Triller on the strikeout for the second out of the inning. Now T.J. Oliver up. He has popped up to second base to Scott, was hit by a pitch and singled. Again, Oliver has been able to deliver big hits all season and looking to continue that trend here in the playoffs. Yeah, we'll watch that breaking ball. Called a strike. Looked a little high and outside, but they will give him the benefit of the doubt and say strike one. Again, the game's tone was really set in the top of the first when Brattleboro sent 11 men to the plate and scored 7 runs. And he did pull the bat back in time for a ball. Of course, Rutland with 3 errors, bunch of walks, I think 7 walks. And Oliver. He's going to rip that, and that's going to be a base hit, and it will score the run. Favreau, off at the crack of the bat, will come in with the 7th run of the ball game, and Oliver will stay at first base. He'll have an RBI single. And now Aaron Bloomer up. Bloomer popped up to Scott at second, had an infield single, and then flied out to Riley in center. And again, they're sticking with Earl. They're just kind of nickel and diming him here, but they've gotten it back to just a 4-run ball game. Like I told you, this Rutland offense has been potent all season. And they're starting to look like they're off the bus now, ready to play. And that's fair ball. They're looking at the umpire, and there he is. He indicating fair ball. There was some confusion down at third base by Harrison, but the ball called fair. Well, Sam Major up. He is the 9th batter to come to the plate. He's got a single, 2 RBIs, flied out to center, and grounded out to the pitcher. He also represents the tying run, and he has the potency in that bat to tie this ball game up. And he'll take that soft breaking ball for a strike. So drama here in the bottom of the 6th. As Rutland so far has, having scored 4 runs, to cut the lead 2-4. And that's going to be out of play. Oh, I told you, I got down on them early. They're my team, Post 31. I'm one of their big fans, but I just couldn't see them dogging it through the rest of the ball game. They've got it down to 4 now, and Brattleboro sticking with Isaac Earl. See if he can get him out of this inning. That's the shortstop. There's the force out, and that's the inning, but got the ball game now, 11-7, Brattleboro, as we go to the 7th on Munger Vision. Up. He'll get a ball. Again, I said this last thing, but Godzik's job, he can't give up like 1 run or 2 runs. He needs a shutout now. As, yeah, Post 31's catching up, but they're running out of innings to keep having to catch up. They can't lose ground. It's 11-7, Brattleboro. Loser will go to the loser's bracket, and it's a tougher road to hoe. And whoever survives this ball game is going to be sitting in good shape as far as not having any losses. There is action in the Rutland bullpen. As that's Ryan Belomo throwing down in the bullpen, and there's another body down there. Just waiting for him to turn around so I see his jersey number. Okay, so Eric Mack, there's a strikeout. So Mack is one of the pitchers in the bullpen. Again, I'm just waiting, and McMahon is the other. Riley up now, the center fielder, with 1 down and nobody on. That, obviously a ball. What's Riley done today besides play a pretty impeccable center field? Well, he struck out, doubled, walked, and grounded out to third. He has scored a run and driven in 2. You take that with all the outs that he's chased down in center field, he's been pretty impressive. So I saw Belomo, but he's just catching. There's 2 in the dugout, the bullpen. There's the out, 2 down now, as Godzik seeming to find his rhythm here on that 3-1 ground out. Now Walsh up, and he's scored a run. He scored 2 runs today. He's walked, he's grounded out to the pitcher, singled, and was hit by a pitch. The reason I'm struggling so much with my book today is I've used up 3 books this year, and they were all the side column, like a spine on the side. This has got the spine on the top, and so one side is upside down. The roster team is lineup. The other one's the upright one. This one happens to be Brattleboro's upside down, so I'm having an awful time manipulating that thing because, quite frankly, if you knew me, you'd understand I'm not that bright to begin with, and this just compounds the problem. And again, they could have a 1-2-3 inning as it looks to be safe to say he's caught it. Bloomer will make the grab, and we'll see if Rollin can continue that offensive momentum in the bottom of the 7th, down by 4. Isaac Earl going to meet Jeff Bloomer here to start off the bottom of the 7th. Ooh, call a strike. Looked high and outside. So strike 1, and that brings some cheers from Brattleboro's dugout and some questions from the Rutland dugout. Base hit! Maybe extra bases. Bloomer, he'll turn and he will hold it up. So again, Rutland now starting to lay back and hang up a little patience on those breaking balls. As in the 7th, Bloomer will lead off with a single. Now Lewicki up. He had an RBI single and scored the last inning. As Rutland looking to come back. Remember they had that comeback win over South Royalton early in the season. And also over the Tri-County team in that July 4th tournament. Again, starts him off with a strike on the breaking ball. That could be 2. There's 1. And there is 2. As Brattleboro turning that 6-4-3 double play. That's a big momentum killer. And Nate Swan up. He had a triple on an RBI his last time up. Oh, correct myself. He was safe at first. Well, just the quietness over there from post 31. I thought he was safe, so I will go change my book to a force out. And a fielder's choice. All right. Okay, excuse me, I'm a long way from the action over here. That'll be fouled off the end of the bat by Swan. Swan's triple was to right center field. And it was a poke, man. Almost to the warning track. As you know, I'm glad the sun has kind of cooled things off here. It's gone behind the clouds. But those are definitely storm clouds coming in, thunder shower clouds. And I'm worried mostly about myself, but everybody else also. I have no cover over me. And I'd like to thank Castleton for allowing me to stand on their video platform and tape, but next year, put a roof over it, dudes. All good eye by Swan. Again, that's almost like a backdoor breaking ball, but it's going around the plate, not hitting the plate. And it isn't where the catcher catches the ball. So 11-7 with 1 down. Brattleboro defensively. Boy, the runner goes. There's the throw down, and he'll be safe. I tell you what, on a real close play, Lewicki will get the steal. The tag was applied from behind on a slapback style by Scott. And Swan now with a runner in scoring position. That's a shot. That's going to be over Riley's head, and that's going to roll. So another extra base hit. It's going to be 11-8. Will they send him to third? He's going to hold up. So the catcher for post 31, Nate Swan, with a triple and a double his last 2 times up and 2 RBIs. Will drive in Lewicki, and again, that's the importance of that stolen base by Lewicki. It put him in position to come home on that double. And boy, you take away that first inning, which I know you can't do, man, but. And now it's 11-8 with just the 1 out and a runner in scoring position for Alex Miskovsky. Alex today with an RBI. And again, there is action in the Brattleboro bullpen. And there is going to be a visit to the mound. Sir Thurber is the second Brattleboro pitcher to take action today as he'll be on the mound facing Alex Miskovsky with runners at second base. 11-8 now with the 1 out, trying to come all the way back from falling behind 7-0 after neither happening to play. That's why those nibble runs, the 7 in the first inning, yeah, but that 2 in the 4th, the 1 in the 5th, and the 1 in the 6th, they're the ones that were going to get you in trouble. And he's going to deliver the base hit, as that will drive in the run. Nope, they're going to hold Swan up at third, so it'll be first and third now for post 31. And the tying run coming to the plate. Muskowski wasted no time jumping on that first pitch from Thurber. Yeah, and Favreau up now, and he's had a big day as usual. Favreau has. He's reached base 3 of his 4 times he's been to the plate. Off the end of the bat. Again, Thurber, a lot different pitcher than what they watched with Earl. I watched Thurber warm up, and then in his first 2 at-bats here, he started batters off with fastballs. So Thurber looking to put a little water on the fire here. Oh, he did a good job. That's on the infield, and it's going to be the shortstop making the grab, and the runner is not able to move up on that one. So Walsh will make the grab just off the infield grass. And again, Brattleboro, just what they wanted, unable to move the runners up. 2 down now for Mike Triller. Now Triller, to me, much better fastball hitter. So we'll see how he does against Thurber here. He got the fastball, but it was just great location, that about knee-high outside corner. Triller watches that one go by. Just see what he's got. So Thurber, up in the count, 0-1. He'll step off the rubber, look the runner back to first, as Muskowski with decent speed over there at first base. Triller will hold up. They'll appeal, and they'll say he did hold up. So a 1-1 count now to center fielder Mike Triller. Two outs. Rutland looking to cash in with that runner at third base. Runner goes, and they'll concede the base as Muskowski would have had it. Anyway, he picked a great pitch to run on. But it was uncontested. So again, Triller representing the tying run at the plate. 2 runners in scoring position. 1 outside corner too far. T.J. Oliver on deck for post 31. As it's turned into quite a grinded out type of ball game now. 19 runs combined by the 2 teams. Foul back. Tell you what, Triller had a rip at that one, and we have a full count still. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. 11-8 in the bottom of the 7th, scheduled for 9. Got him looking. Left him with runners in scoring position. We'll go to the 8th, 11-8 Brattleboro. Whitworth and Godzik as we get going here in the top of the 8th. Again, he missed the first part of the ballgame. Brattleboro with 11 batters coming to the plate in the top of the first, scored 7 times. Rutland with, I believe, just 3 walks that inning, couple errors, and just did not look like Rutland. And now the last couple innings, in the 6th and 7th, Rutland able to score 5 of their 8 runs. Eric Godzik came on to replace Kyle Horvath, the starter, a couple innings ago. But he's right at the meat and potatoes of the order with Whitworth leading things off here. And then the time called as Godzik just took too long to decide on the sign. You have Scott and then Earl's spot, which I'm assuming will be Thurber. And again, Godzik, we're in the 8th. Can't really afford to give up any runs here. It's his team trying their best to not get in that loser's bracket. Whoever wins today will be 2-0 in the tournament, and it'll be a lot easier road to get to the finals. Triller says he's got it, and he does. So he'll float to center field and make the grab for the first out. So they retire the very dangerous catcher, Whitworth, on that fly ball. Now Scott up, and his last time up, he reached on a fielder's choice. Godzik from the full windup, looking to nibble the outside corner. Won't get the call. It'll be ball 1. Troy Scott, well, he's been involved in a lot of stuff today. He's made a lot of plays on the infield. Had an error that led to a run. Looks at a strike there. As far as with the bat goes, like I said, he had a fielder's choice last time up. He's also had a double and driven in a run. He struck out, flied out to right field. And again, he's instrumental on that success of Brattleboro today as far as offensive plays go. To Godzik, he'll field it, he'll throw to first, and he will have the out. So 2 outs here in the 8th. And I'm just looking for a number. Oh, it is Isaac. He gets the bat. Okay. So Isaac Earl at the plate, and he has gotten the job done with the bat. He'll take a high fastball for a ball 1. But Earl had a double and scored a run in the 6th, and that's a big run right now. You're up by only 3. That pitch will miss. 2 balls, no strikes. And Godzik looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Eric Godzik is Justin. And oh, man. Somebody from the dugout wanted to know where that was, and I got to agree with them. A very spirited crowd here today. Yeah, now, I got to tell you, that is exactly where the other pitch was. This time it's a strike, though, so 3 balls, 1 strike. Godzik looking to come back 1 pitch at a time. We'll get it off the fist, and everybody running for it. Oh, it's going to fall in front of Triller. No, but it's just one of those things where it's hit at the right pace, at the right place, and the right time, and it'll be a single off the fist. So at 2 outs, Earl will get on first base, so he'll have his second base hit of the ball game. Now Devin Rhodes up. He popped up to the catcher his last time up. Now this is where a lot of teams kind of get hurt with 2 down and a runner on. Somehow that runner will come around and become a run. Like I said, with only 6 outs left for Rutland, and they're down by 3. They've spent a lot of energy right now just to get back to this point in the ball game. They really can't keep going to the tank too many times to the well. If they can get to the bottom of the 8th down by 3, and the way they've been hitting the ball in the last couple innings, they got to have a little feel of confidence going. And it's Godzik. Pinpoint right there, right on the inside corner for a strike on the fastball. He evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Who would have thought? Well, you know, I kind of did at the end of that inning when it was 7-1. Rutland just too good to lay down and roll over in this ball game. Yeah, so Godzik taking a little time now between pitches as he is into his 5th inning of work, or sorry, 3rd inning of work, fouled back for a strike. Again, Munger Vision bringing you this Legion playoff game from Castleton State College. Followed the Legion all season long. Might as well be here in the postseason. Again, right there, more aiming than throwing. Ed Lewicki, the winning pitcher yesterday for Rutland, went 7 2/3 inning through 133 pitches. And he was safe at first. And to tell you the truth, I was kind of relaxing and didn't follow it. Godzik. Got him on the corner. Strike 3 called. That's the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Spencer Thurber going to be looking at T.J. Oliver to start things off here in the bottom of the 8th. And so it'll be Oliver, Aaron Bloomer, and Sam Major due up. Thurber coming on in relief of Earl in the last inning. So again, we're in the 8th, scheduled for 9th, and a 3-run lead for Brattleboro. And ball 2, Thurber working very cautiously to the very powerful Oliver. The rest of that defense, as I glanced around, stayed the same for Brattleboro. With a 2-0 count, Oliver taking all the way. That one right down the pipe, 2 balls, 1 strike. He said it took Rutland a while to get that shocked effect off from him from the 7-run first inning, but they got it back to doable now. It's manageable, down by 3. And the other thing is they're able to this point, that's going to be the third. Yeah, he was playing real close to the corner, and they'll get him. So able to come back in the count and get the out. There's one down. So Oliver on that 5-3 ground out will ground out to Harrison. Like I said, he was in close at the corner. Aaron Bloomer up. Aaron Bloomer today, he's popped up to second, had an infield single, popped out to center, and then had another single. So he's 2 for 4 today. And Thurber will miss for ball 1. Nope, they went with Horvath as long as they can. That's going to be to short and an error, and that will be a base runner to 1 down via the error. So Bloomer will be at first base as Walsh will commit his second error of the ball game. Major up now, and Sam with a single and 2 RBIs. He's grounded out to the pitcher and then also popped out to center field. Always a threat to leave the yard is Major. Looks at that fastball low and away, ball 1. Again, there's been a pretty good wind blowing throughout the ball game, but right now you got some thunder shower clouds coming this way. And they are in the forecast. Oh, Major helping him out there as he went high and inside and chopped some wood on the swing. So Spencer Thurber, number 7, looking to work his way through the 8th. Went back to the high fastball. This time Major, learning from his last swing, able to hold up. On that swing prior when it was out of the strike zone and he went after it, I don't know who the fan was, but I mean, he was the only guy talking. You could hear him, "Don't help him out." And that'll be ball down low. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. In the 8th. Trying to survive, Brattleboro. Got that big first inning lead. They're trying to hold on to it. Get another day into the winner's bracket. Double elimination tournament. And on ball 4, that'll be the walk. That will push Bloomer over to second. So yeah, Bloomer's a second because of an error, and Major's a first because of a walk. Now Jeff Bloomer up. He'll turn away, and again, Rutland now showing that patience they lacked earlier in the ball game. Tying run at the plate with just the 1 out. You can see Aaron Bloomer in the foreground on the shot. He's at second. And Thurber now searching for that plate, down 2-0. Don't forget, he had Oliver at a 3-ball count. Oliver grounded out. And so again, a visit to the mound by the Brattleboro coach. And he'll come to set. Strike called there. No, a lot of it, where he was missing high, comes right down to mechanics, and they could have just seen something from the dugout and went out and talked to him about it. He'll come inside too far, and that'll make it a 3-ball, 1 strike count. Almost hit him. And I'll tell you what, that last pitch, Thurber worked extremely fast between pitches, almost like he wasn't composed. He'll lay it in there, and we'll go right back to drama with a 3-2 count. So full count to Jeff Bloomer with Ed Lewicki on deck. Popped, and Earl chasing it. Nope. He'll be in the bullpen. So that's a defensive change that I missed. Earl went to first base defensively for Brattleboro. He was the starting pitcher. Now that was a good job. That was a good pitch by the pitcher and a good job by Bloomer to follow it off and stay alive with 2 strikes. So again, everybody did their job well that time. Looking for the timely hit. Fouled. Struck him out. Foul tip caught by the catcher on a pitch out of the strike zone. Looked like a splitter. Could have had slider action on it, but that's a big, big out right there. Now Lewicki up. Yeah, Lewicki with the last 2 time up, he's had base hits and scored runs. He's looking to deliver the big blow. Again, Rutland running out of innings, running out of outs. They've got runners at first and second, but 2 down now. All season long, they've been able to find somebody in that lineup to deliver the clutch hit. It was Lewicki, I believe, against South Royalton in a non-league game that came through in the 6th and the 7th with big hits to tie it and then win it. Again, he's a tying run at the plate. Now again, that breaking ball right there, it's a sharp breaking ball, a lot different than what Isaac Earl threw. And then Lewicky, again, that was a good eye because that was definitely a ball. But it was a pitch that they might have, could have gone either way as far as the batter not wanting to wait and be called out looking. So 3-1 with Swan on deck, and the pitch will be ball 4, and that will load him up for Swan. And Swan, well, last time up he had a double. Prior to that he had a triple, so he has done his job with Muskoski on deck. Again, Nate Swan wears number 13 on his back, but it has never bothered him. He's not superstitious, I don't think so. He just goes on pure talent. And I tell you, like I said, he's had a triple and a double today, and he's got a chance to get this thing tied up. Pitch will come inside for a ball. Of course, those base hits came against the starting pitcher, Ira Earl. That one on the corner evens things up at 1 ball, 1 strike. It was that 7-run first that's propelled Brattleboro, like I said, into the lead, and they're just trying to hold on now. That pitch came inside. You can see Swan turn away from it. 2 balls, 1 strike. A walk means a run. And again, those clouds getting closer. In the dirt, a nice stop by Whitworth, the catcher. So with a 3-1 count, you've got to believe that Swan will be taking all the way. Usually, in a situation like this is the best pitch of the inning, or the sequence. I mean, he'll usually one right down the heart. Maybe they'll green light him, but I got a feeling he's going to be taken. No, it'll be called a ball on a pitch that looked like it caught the corner. That will force in a run, and I know the center fielder, Riley, couldn't believe it. He was dead onto the plate. Makes it 11-9 now, Rutland, with Muskoski up. He had a single his last time up. Again, just trying to beat the storm coming. Muskoski with a chance. You got to believe with a single, he could tie this ball game up. Great pitch. To a left-handed batter right on the knees. That's a phenomenally good pitch. And that wind that was strong before, very strong now. Oh, same pitch, same result. If he gets out of this inning and gives up just the 1 run, he would have done a wonderful job. Bases juiced, 2 down. And he is. He's going to give it up to first, and there it is. We're going to go to the 9th with Brattleboro up by 2. Godzik will miss bat outside. Thurber, the pitcher, getting his first chance to swing the bat here today, and he's going to be hitting out of Martell's spot. So I try to catch up on the, my pen died. But no, you got to start looking at missed opportunities now. Not only did Rutland dig a hole with that 7-run first inning they gave up, but they've had 2 or 3 innings where they've had multiple base runners on and haven't got that big hit. I started looking at the scoreboard, especially in the 7th and 8th inning, and see just number 1 and 1 up there when it could have been a lot more runs with the right hit. But they've kept themselves in a position to be in the ball game after being down by 7. It's 11-9 in the top of the 9th with storm clouds moving in and the battery flashing low power on my camera. I got 1 more battery to work with. Godzik waved his hand off, and now the pitch. But they were right on that one, and that will go straight to the backstop for a strike. Swan will pick it up, and again, it's very important here with a full count to try to not allow that leadoff batter to get on base. Brattleboro held scoreless in the 2nd and 3rd, and he's on. So he will get hit. I believe that's the 3rd time they've hit a batter today, maybe more. So Eric Godzik will hit the batter. Now Harrison up the 3rd baseman. And this is a good time where the coach comes out for me to get the new battery. Coming in relief, the third pitcher used by Rutland today, Mack. And his job's simple. Don't hit the batter. And he didn't, and the runner will go down to second base. Well, it's not to allow the runs here. I'm not sure what the pitch was, besides just ugly, but the runner will move down to second base. See if Brattleboro wants a small ball him over to third and play for that one run, insurance run. No, they'll go for the base hit instead, and that will get the runner to third base. Bloomer will knock the ball down, and just like that, Brattleboro now in business with runners at the corners with nobody down. Now I'll bring up Heidinger. They call him Heidinger, but I asked the coach specifically, and he told me Heidinger, so. Still a cool name, no matter which way you go with it. Getting Rutland climbing back in the ball game. Doesn't want to let it get away from him now in the ninth. They trailed by 2, and Brattleboro with a big threat here. And Mack. A couple things here. He'd like a pop-up on the infield or a strikeout. You got to wonder if Brattleboro will send the runner from first to second on the steal. Nice grab by Bloomer. The runner back easily ahead of the throw. Me personally, if they're going to delay steal. Oh, great pitch. That was a great pitch to a left-handed batter. 0-2 the count from Eric Mack. Of course, Mack, known throughout New England for his hockey and skating ability, has done a nice job here at post 31. Wanted to go high fastball outside corner, missed a tad bit off the way. And can you talk about a chess match going on right now? Brattleboro looking to pick up some insurance runs down at third. And that's going to be dropping in, base hit. They're going to get that run. That'll be an RBI single. As it was hit just in the right spot. And Brattleboro back up by 3 now. That was Heidinger. Now Riley up. Again, Rutland spent a lot of energy getting back into this thing. But now they're relying on their relief pitchers to come in and be able to shut the door. So still from the stretch is Mack. They're showing small ball, and that surprised me last time that they didn't do that. Of course, it worked out because they got single. But 12-9, Rutland giving up 12 runs today. And we're not done yet. Getting the batter had stepped out. Now he's back into the box. Now, it looked like he tried to bunt, but I'm not seeing an indication if he went or not. It didn't seem like he pulled the bat back. He did not. It's a strike. So it wasn't that the pitch was in a great location for a strike, as he offered at it and never brought the bat back into a neutral position. And so Mack, again, he's in a pickle here. He's trying to get out of a jam. Perfect bunt, and the play should go to first to get the out. There it is, and that will be out number 1. And Brattleboro executing that perfectly. We'll have runners at second and third now. Now Walsh up now. He'll fly out to left field his last time up. So Mack able to record out number 1, but the runner's moving up to second and third. And boy, that could be just what the doctor ordered if they can field it. No, it dropped in because, well, what it was, no communications. And Brattleboro, having a big top of the ninth, will pick up another run. Yeah, that looked at first. Triller had to go a long way to get it. Oliver had the best shot at it, and Favreau at second was in the area. And I believe they've come back around to Whitworth now. And it is Whitworth up. Again, it goes 12-9. I have it more than that, but that pitch will stay outside from Mack. So not a big powerful hit, but when it got the job done, it is 13-9. Back up to 4-run lead now, and still a lot of damage out there. So there's a runner at first and third. As Mac faked the third and turn around and faked the first. It's really not, man. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it. It's where you hit it, and that was a great example last time of that. Foul down to play. So Mac with 2-strike count, 0-2. Looking to just grind through the inning. And again, looking fastball, had it in the dirt. Swan with a good stop. A loss today will push Rutland into the got to play a lot more games bracket, and they're trying to avoid that. It's double elimination, so both teams here today with undefeated records. Whoops, it's a throw. I didn't go over far enough, but he's back safe. Again, what's been a long game. Grinding on here. There's the strikeout. There's the throw, and the runner's safe. So he did get the strikeout for out. Oh, no, it's got, well, I had that 2 strikes. They call it on the board now, it's 2 strikes. So that's only strike 2. There's still only the 1 out, but the runner went down to third base. Mac, back to the full windup now that the runners are at second and third. Fouled back right off the post. It sounds just like a xylophone. So Rutland able to come all the way back to within a couple runs, but dug the hole a little deeper again here in the top of the 9th, and still damage being done. High and outside, and a good eye right there. We'll make it a full count. This will be the only game today played by either side. Tomorrow's when you kick into that. If you lose, well, especially from the losers bracket, if you lose today and you survive tomorrow, you're going to be playing multiple ball games tomorrow. And they're going to intentionally walk them, or so they say. And they will. They made an adventure of that. I'm not sure I like that, but I understand what they're doing. No, I understand what they're doing. Force out at any base. Play will probably come home. They're bringing the infield in to cut down the run. Yes, they are. So Troy Scott up now. As Scott and Mac is set to do battle. That'll come inside. Again, there's just the 1 out and nowhere to put him on a walk. A walk means a run. A run means lead goes to 5. There's a strike. I do some quick math there. That was hard. So from Castleton State College, you watch a 15-round heavyweight fight right here. That's the problem with bringing the infield in. 2 runs going to come in. Nope, they're going to hold it with 1. If you bring the infield in, that creates that right there. Easier to drive the ball through. That'll make it now a 14-9 ball game, and they're going to stick with Mac. Yeah. So Rutland, who fell behind 7-0, then able to make ground up, but then missed some big opportunities in the 7th and 8th. Down by 5 now, and still only 1 out. Isaac Earl up. And it just missed inside. So yeah, whoever loses this will regroup and come with a clear head tomorrow. Like I said, because whoever loses this, if they lose the first game they play tomorrow, then they're done. But if they win tomorrow, they're going to be playing again tomorrow. So, I mean, that's when you start building up. A lot of expectations out of this post-31 team this year, and I got to tell you the truth, this is the worst I've seen them struggle and look all season long. And it's against a familiar foe. And, ooh, a generous strike there as the zone got a little bit wider on that pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. And that will walk in another run. You know, sometimes too, when a team's faced with adversity, they actually play better, Berta. So Devin Rhodes up now. And again, just the one out. And the lead all the way up to 6 now. As they just can't find that second and third out post 31. And you know, I don't want to sound like I'm not giving Brattleboro credit, but and the coach coming out maybe for the hook. Mac, and again, that was a very brief visit, so whatever he said, got there quick, made his point, and that was a strike from Mac. As Rhodes, the 9th batter, to come to plate, and now they're going to hold up. I tell you, the runner at second was just about the third base, and they held up. I think they could have scored on that, but again, they don't take. They got a big inning going, and they don't want to ruin it now. If you start thinking ahead, Rutland's going to have the top of the order up at the bottom of the 9th, but right now that seems almost irrelevant. Triller will make the grab. They do send the runner home. The throw will come through, and he will score. Nice stop by Swan. I tell you, that wasn't a deep fly ball at all to send him home on. I like the gutsy call, and that will lead to yet another run. Yes, I will go to 16-9 now. And like I said, Spencer Thurber up, and here comes the rain. That is out number 2. And yeah, I could see them clouds are coming. They'll dust the plate off at that. And I'll have to break out the garbage bags for the camera. Pitch coming outside for a ball. Well, they've got it as just 15-9 on the board. So I'll go with the board because I ran out of spaces in my book because of that extended inning. Oh, that's going deep. Bloomer, gone! Home run! Whoa! A shot gone, Isaac Earl. As he'll come on in and touch him off, and that probably was a shot that did in Rutland. Well, one of many punches that, or Thurber, I mean, with a home run ball. And I'll tell you what, that was to left center field. Ryan Belomo becomes here for post 31. And it's now 19-9 Brattleboro. Triller says he's got it, and he will come underneath it, make the grab, and boy, Rutland need a miracle bomb of the 9th to stay out of that losers bracket, down by 10, 19-9. Fabro will be pitching against, will be batting against Thurber. And again, a lot of times a loss like this sends you into a sense of urgency that you need. I'm not saying Rutland didn't have that to begin with, but came in #1 seed from the South, a big winning streak, only the one loss. They'd have already defeated Brattleboro during the regular season. And they kind of got whacked around, a 7-run first, an 8-run 9th they gave up, some runs in between. They didn't play well defensively. They made a bunch of errors. Their pitchers walked a lot of people. And you know, a lot of times that gives you that sense of urgency. So from the shortstop position, the first, and he'll be safe, and beyond that, he's going to go to second base as Favreau will end up at second base. And it is raining out now, of course. So again, you know, no lead's insurmountable, but it's going to take quite an effort. Triller coming up now, the center fielder for Rutland, as they need 10 runs to tie it. And that's going to be the first. There's out #1. So they'll retire Triller on that 4-3 ground out. So it goes to Scott or to Earl, and that'll be the out. So Thurber will be pitching to Oliver now. Yeah, no, a lot of times, you know, two things happen. Either a loss like this, you kind of you curl up in the corner and cry like a baby and suck your thumb. There's a base hit, and that's going to score Favreau, so that will make it 19-10 now. Or you kind of gather around and you kind of get that real me against the world defensive mode mentality, that sense of urgency. And like I said, the teams have won this tournament coming out of the losers bracket. But man, with the powerful Essex team, I just see it being tough though. But you got to take it one game at a time. Today's game, obviously not the best effort Post 31 has had all season long. By far their worst outing. But like I said, maybe it's going to turn things around for them here in the tournament. And not taking anything away from Brattleboro. I mean, they hit the ball well. That's going to go past Myers, and that's going to score another run. As Oliver, no, he's being told to hold up, so they'll hold up there, and we'll stay at 19-10. But again, this could be a little too late, as that was Bloomer, 15, Aaron Bloomer, that had the base hit. So Sam Major up. Since the rain started, I have no cover, and the game's 9 runs down. I put the book away, so I know Major had a single and an RBI, and he'll spin away from that pitch. It was well inside, and it did not hit him. And Coach Belomo will, I'm not sure what the talk's about. Honestly, I have a theory, but I don't want, I'm guessing, so I don't want to really go out there with it. As you see, the umbrellas popping up now on the beautiful Castle State College baseball field in the background. Fouled off for strike. 1-1 to count, 1 down, 1 run in. And that's what strikes me. I look at Rutland, they fell behind 7-1 after 1 inning. But it was the amount of people they left on base and the times they scored just 1 run in the 7th, 1 run in the 8th when they had a chance to really do damage. And that's a fly ball. As Meyer says he's got it, and he will make the grab for out number 2. The run will come in. It's inconsequential at that point. Meyer just needs the out and bring the ball into cutoff. As it's raining hard, and I didn't want my equipment to get wet, but oh, you know, these summer showers, as there's 2 outs now. Now Jeff Bloomer up as it goes 19-11. Rutland down by 8. And Thurber's pitch outside. No, and you know, I made the cardinal sin of shooting outside. I didn't bring my umbrella. Yeah, that's my fault, my mistake. Strike 1 called. 1-1 to count. As Rutland just 1 out away from going into the loser's bracket. That's a good stop by the catcher. Whip. Oh, I can't recall his name right now. I put my stuff away. I'm just trying not to get like a soaking wet, shorted out camera right now. That's through the hole, and that'll be a base hit. And Aaron Bloomer will stop at first base. So again, Rutland swinging away, going down here in the 9th inning, down by 8 runs. So Lewicki coming up now. And again, a hard rain. As Serber needing just 1 out to put Brattleboro in the undefeated bracket, the winner's bracket, and avenge an earlier season loss, regular season loss to Rutland. I always worry about my equipment getting wet because it's so old and fragile, and it's my own equipment. And I really can't afford to have it die on me, but I'm hanging in there, hopefully to the final out. I have no more plastic bags to wear. So I might, if it gets harder, I might just fade it down and call it a game. And that's what they did. They saw lightning